Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spending Magazine with another unboxing video, and this is Cream and Wheels of Fire Super Deluxe Edition 5 CD set. So let's have a look inside. This is a look at the Super Deluxe Edition, the CD version of Cream Wheels of Fire, remastered Super Deluxe Edition 5 CDs. So on the back of the box is a list of all the tracks, etc. across each disc. Mine's made in Germany. I have to say, I do like this size box set, which has been used especially on the Thin Lizzy sets, hasn't it? And Def Leppard, etc. I think it's really, really cool. And also it's used on the Hawkwind sets from Cherry Red as well. So you have the fold-out card, which has the discs in, which is really attractive because it mirrors the gatefold sleeve of the original vinyl. I have to say I was very tempted to get the vinyl version of this. And then you get a hardback book, which Cherry Red don't do anymore. It's always a softback. And this, I know it's only a few pages. You can see that. But I still feel that if it's a hardback book, it probably pushes the cost up. But it has a more kind of deluxe feel to me. It's heavy cardstock as well. So, kind of to bulk it out a bit, I guess. But there's, it's a really good story behind the album, how it came together, what was happening within the band. Pictures of different pressings from different parts of the world. But it's well written. It's very well laid out. Picture of the original album cover, picture from the back of the Best of Cream, I think that is. And then you've got the track listings, and you've also got an explanation of what the difference is in the different kind of mixes and mastered versions as well, which is really useful. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when I do the summary after this part. And again, the full track listings, etc., for the rest of the CDs. And the reason why Cream Live and Cream Live Volume 2 are there is because most of the tracks from those albums are included in this box set. And then it finishes off with pictures of the band, and it says at the very back, how it's been pulled together and who's done the remastering, etc., which is really, really cool as well. So the credits here on the Wheels of Fire in the studio, live at Fillmore and Winterland, Anyone for Tennis, which was the outtake, a single, Live Cream, and obviously Live Cream Volume 2. Not both of those albums are included, but not in full. Anyway, that's a look at Cream Wheels of Fire, the Super Deluxe CD version. So that's a look inside Cream Wheels of Fire, the Super Deluxe Edition set, which has just been released. It's also available on vinyl. This is Jazz Aston. So she'll be joining me for this review. I just want to say that she absolutely loved listening to this. Jazz has just decided she doesn't want to be in front of the camera and has jumped away. Anyway, what are my thoughts on this? The box set, God, where to start? I love this shape design. This is like the Thin Lizzy, Hawkwind shape, great stuff, and a hardback book and everything. And what I also like is, although Polydor seemed to take a long time to get around to doing these. I mean, how many of us bought this? Fresh Cream, same design. This had a Blu-ray though, because it had the high resolution audio in it. But I thought this was fantastic. And then I bought the Eric Clapton one. Same people, great stuff. And then I didn't buy the Goodbye Cream live one because I thought I had more time to get it. And then it disappeared. And this is the thing, isn't it? These things vanish. So some part of me would like Polydor to reissue that. Because otherwise, what are they going to do next? They're going to do Disraeli Gears, aren't they? Which is on the floor behind me, my vinyl version. Because there was this little box set. Remember this? Many of us have got this as well. So there's only Disraeli Gears left. And that's already had a 2 CD version. And probably the best compilation, and still available at a good price, ironically, is this one. Those Were the Days. Anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. And the reason why I'm showing you all of that is so that you know that I'm a massive fan, and I'm just like stumbled across this, which I bought myself from HMV. I've always felt that Cream albums weren't the best recordings. Okay, I might be completely out on a limb here, but when you think of the stereo version of Disraeli Gears, for instance, where Ginger Baker's in one speaker and everyone else is in the other one, it's like as if no one really knew what to do with stereo, and it's a bit weird. And of course, on this one, we have this thing which is called CSG encoded, which was to make it sound better in mono, which it took away some of the stereo separation when it was played in stereo. So we have the corrected de-CSG version, then we have the stereo reference reels version, and then we have lots of live stuff. So what does it sound like? I think it sounds bloody marvellous, to be quite honest with you. And I did play my version from here on CD as a reference point. And I'll be really honest, because I've been so used to hearing this. Wheels of Fire is an album I borrowed from school when I was a young kid. When a music library. It was a very important double album. It was the album that got me into guitars and everything because of the live side with Spoonful. Spoonful is like everyone on earth should hear Spoonful from Wheels of Fire. Anyone who thinks Eric Clapton is someone who plays a bit of slide up the corner or does these kind of like ballads for, kind of middle-aged people with dinner parties or whatever. Some people think that, I know. Or, what was all the fuss about? With all the stuff that went on in the 70s and 80s with, guitarists playing 10,000 notes per second. What's the fuss? Listen to that. Listen to Spoonful. And you'll hear a bit of Tony Iommi in there with some of those motifs. You will. Anyway, sorry. So when I started playing this, I thought, well, yeah, the remaster sounds good. And then the one that had kind of got rid of this effect they had, I wasn't sure at first because I could tell there was something different, but I couldn't quite work out what it was. And then so I played it again. Yeah, I've been playing literally Wheels of Fire on a loop. And I thought, no, there's this differential here. And I thought it's really breathing. And then actually the reference reels, which were found in a skip or something, and literally they've never been heard before. The stereo mixes, that to me is amazing. I felt I was hearing things here that I've not heard before. The way that the positioning of the guitar and stuff, and it just sounds different, but it sounds fantastic. Was it somebody said about the mono reference was? Oh, there was no mono recordings. It's just being folded down. I mean that I'm not going to be precious about this. That really doesn't bother me, unless have you got an AV amp and you're really going to just press a button that says change to mono to try and get that. I mean, who cares if it's being folded down? I've got purple stuff that's been done like that, but it sounds fine to me. I don't know if the mono version that was folded down, but that's the one I listened to. But I thought the Studio Stereo Reference Reels disc 2 was my favourite disc. And then the phase corrected versions next, and then the remastered versions. It brings us on to disc 3, live at the Fillmore Winterland Ballroom, Crossroads, Spoonful, Train Time, and Toad. Yeah, Toad has got a drum solo that goes on longer than your average skiing holiday in Austria, perhaps, but it was one of the first drum solos, and it has a great riff, hasn't it? Before the drum solo arrives, it's quite a heavy song, but 16 and a half minutes of, is it 16? Yeah, it's nearly 17 minutes of Spoonful, and nearly all of that is a guitar solo. It's one of the finest moments in rock history as far as I'm concerned, and here it is, sounding better than it's ever sounded before. The other thing that I really love about this set is that, and again I've referenced it against because this contains the entire live 1 and live 2, is there's a couple of tracks missing, but you've got a lot of it. Disc 4, you've got 8 songs live from both of those live albums. Something like Stepping Out's 14 minutes long, NSU 10 minutes long, and then on disc 5 you've got more outtakes, more alternative stereo mixes, which are all really wonderful to hear. You've got Sunshine of Your Love from the Fillmore. You've got NSU, another version which is 12.5 minutes long. You've got Anyone for Tennis, the mono single version, the stereo remix. You've got a great book, and this is about between £50 and £59. And I think that price point is really sensible and is absolutely excellent. Because in the hands of some other record labels, this would be nearly £90, wouldn't it? In fact, even the vinyl box set is kind of like making me twitch a bit. So because, and I don't need that, do I? Because I've got this, but it's making me twitch about getting it because this has been done so well. It's made me really love the music again. I have emotional attachments to this that has made me think about that. And I know some of you in the comments have already said you've gone and bought both sets. So I can understand it, because I think actually there's a deal on at Polydor where you can buy this version and the vinyl version together for literally like 90 quid, 100 quid. So that does seem like a great deal. If you love this album, that's what you're going to do. But I have to say, I thought this was brilliant. Well done, Polydor. And it's really well put together, but it's the music, isn't it? But the package, the photographs, the way it feels, I feel part of it. But if you want to know what the fuss is about, Spoonful. But do you know what? It's my show. I can waffle a bit, can't I? What did I really like? Passing the Time, the long version, which is nearly 6 minutes long compared with the 4.5 minute version. I love that. And I loved Pressed Rat and Warthog with the spoken intro. I like that as well. Amplified Heat. There's such a feel to this, isn't there? Passing the Time, Sitting on Top of the World, Politician, Born Under a Bad Sign. It's a wonderful record. Can you imagine what it must have been like back then? 1968. Someone releasing a double album. There's hardly any double albums, was there? And this, the live stuff. And how different that was. Anyway, sorry. It's out now. It's really good. I loved it. It's great. Right, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Music is the healer and the doctor. Please take care, all of you. Please subscribe and ring that little bell. And visit the website at nowspinning.co.uk. There are no adverts on a music website. None. And that's because of the support of patrons. And in return, you get access to the private communities where you can talk to people from around the world in a safe and lovely place about any kind of music you like. And that's on WhatsApp and also a private group on Facebook. We have our own pub called the Now Spinning Arms, which meets up twice a month just to talk about music via Zoom. And we have merch, and we have our own music shop selling CDs and Kscope, and it's in a kind of partnership with Burning Shed, so it's a trusted site and outlet, etc. Thank you, all of you. Please take care, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon.